Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renagade Radio and all podcast caches, including Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to us. We're also on YouTube. It's the Dark Mark Show. I am Dark Mark, the goth comedian. And as always, everybody's favorite horror writer, Nicole Sixx.
Good evening.
Good evening, Nicole. It's cold. It's cold in LA today.
I made tea.
When you swap Fireball for tea, you know it's cold.
That's when it's cold.
It's like you might be a redneck. If you stop drinking Fireball for a cup of tea, it might be hot in LA. Anyway, it's pretty hot or pretty cold in LA. I just messed up the joke, but it's like it's a high of 50 and the lows like in the 30s. So it's very un-LA like.
Today is in the 40s actually.
Okay, well, I stand corrected. Apparently, Nicole got her meteorology license. But we're going to have a fun one, Nicole. Charlie Renegade set that up, and you know what that means.
That we have a live one?
We have a live one indeed. There you go. We have a live one. She is a model, a muse, a mua, which I just found out what that is, an actress, and a social media influencer, and soon to have her own show on Renagade Radio, and I can't wait for it. It's Christina Reins.
Hi.
Hi, Christina.
Thank you
How
so
are
much
you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for
I see, because you're not in LA. You're in the Pacific Northwest.
Correct.
Portland?
Vancouver, Portland area, yeah.
Oh, even worse. I know Vancouver. Yeah, not worse, but better. It depends if you smoke a lot of weed. Anyway, before we get started, because how chilly is it up in Vancouver?
It's fucking cold. We keep getting snow flurries and like sleet, which is, rain and snow together. So it's cold. And then all of Portland is ice right now.
I'm familiar with sleet, and I'm familiar with being in Portland when it's very cold. I went up there once, hang out with my friends, and I misheard the weather, and I only brought shorts, so that was not a good fun time. I didn't bring a jacket. Anyway, before we get started, if you really want to warm yourself up, if you really want to have energy, because when it's cold, I get sleepy. But then again, I drink this Ray's energy drink, the best energy drink there is. I love this. This is the best. I've tried them all. This is better than stuff you can get in stores. I mean, you can go to vitamin shops or GNCs and maybe they'll have it, maybe they won't. But why do that? Do it the cheap way. We have a code in the description if you're listening to this on watching this on YouTube, listening to this on a podcast catcher, and you can get 15% off a case of Ray's. 15%, and the best part of Ray's, 0 calories, 0 carbs, 0 crash. And I have the Baja line, one of my favorite flavors. It tastes just like Baja Blast without like you get at Taco Bell. And unlike Taco Bell, there's no sugar, no carbs, no dyes, and you don't have that with a side of diarrhea. So that's delicious. I love it. And I'm going to be wide awake, and I will need to be for Christina's energy. So get Ray's energy drink. It's the best. Also, in the description, there will be a code where you can get, because this is good for the holidays. Holidays is all about gift giving. And give the man in your life the gift of a boner, because we are sponsored by Eddie by Giddy, which is the proven, I've seen the reviews, it works. It is a device that you wear, and it gets you erect. Some people only use it one time, they're cured. Some people use it every time, they're cured. It will, if you're thinking of having sex or masturbating very nicely over the holidays, or somebody who does, get Eddie by Giddy and use our code, and you get 20% off. And one more thing, our former co-host Hannah Bach, Nicole, you saw the pictures?
Yes.
I was at her dog's birthday party last night.
Yes.
Dog Khaleesi, and it was a lot of fun. But I don't know if you know that, you do know, because I know you commented on social media, that Hannah's dog Lannister, unfortunately, has been found to have cancer.
Yes.
And Hannah is starting a GoFundMe, and that will be in the description. And Lannister is the cutest. He's got 3 legs. It was the first rescue dog that she got. And let's save Lannister, give to the GoFund, and give Lannister the best care that's. So, And next week, we are going to have creepy Christmas stories with Rissa Miller. And we already taped that. And Nicole, how fun was that show?
That was a great show.
How many of those creepy Christmas stories did you know?
Not all of them. I was very surprised by the Yule Cat and the more ethnic stories. Those were ones I didn't know at all.
So it's going to be a different kind of Christmas this year. First, we're going to have next week creepy Christmas stories with Rissa Miller. And then the week after, we're going to have our old friend Santa Claus in the studio with Elisa Jordana, formerly of the Howard Stern Show and formerly engaged to Andy Dick. So she's got stories. So that'll be a good show. But we got Christina on the line now. Now, Christina, were you born in the Portland area?
No, I came and moved out here about 6-7 years ago from Denver. But I've moved around a lot of places, but Denver's my hometown.
I'm from Colorado too.
You are?
Yeah, and Mark lived in Colorado for a while as well.
That's awesome.
You just hit a ding, 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 ding. Yeah, we both lived in Westminster at different times.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely familiar with Westminster.
Yeah, so I went to Scott Carpenter Junior High, and so we are 3 Colorado people complaining about the cold. Very, very nice. So,
that's really fun.
Let me guess. When you were in school, you were ugly. Everybody made fun of you and bullied you, and nobody liked you. Because every beautiful woman has that story.
That's really funny. That actually only happened until I hit puberty. And then I was always popular, but not like with the popular girls, because I've always been, I don't know, I've always walked my own beat and had my own category of scene. And so I was never with the popular girls, but I was always popular.
So you're popular adjacents.
I'm sorry?
Popular adjacents. It's like, she's cooler than the popular girls.
Yeah, pretty much. And, a lot of people thought, I don't know, people left me alone though because of it, which was kind of nice. Later on in my dating life, it became kind of a problem because people didn't know how to approach me because they're
I hear this bullshit too.
Right.
I'm so hot. All the guys were intimidated. Nobody ever hit on me.
Well, no, a lot of people automatically assume that I'm a bitch or, have that whole pretty girl mentality.
I know.
There's such a thing as pretty girl shaming, and it's really out there.
Nicole, can you back this up? I've never heard of this pretty girl shaming.
People think I'm a bitch, but that's just because they don't know me. Someone said once I had a mean face. So,
yeah.
So you two have mean faces?
That's what they said. They're like, you had a mean face, but then you started talking. I was like, oh, she's cool. That's what someone told me once.
Is it because you weren't at your preferred selfie angle of? Let me see. Because it's reversed, so I can't.
I think people just assume that certain people are stupid or mean, or that's it. That's the right angle.
Let me. So everybody on YouTube, this is Nicole's. No, wait a second. I can't. It's because it's reversed, but yeah. That's Nicole face right there. Look at that.
Well, when I'm walking, I don't really smile.
Yeah, because you got to do the. You do the pout.
So people just assumed I was bitchy because of my lack of smiling.
Okay, is that what happened to you, Christina? Everybody thought you were bitchy because you didn't smile, or?
I guess. I've been told I have a resting bitch face when I don't smile, but I am a very happy person, so I'm always smiling. But I really just think that it's the whole intimidating factor, and they're like, oh, well, she's pretty, so she, isn't going to be nice.
Pretty girl shaming. I didn't know this was a thing. So that's weird because I hear this all the time, but then Nicole will back me up. I have no problem going up to beautiful women and hitting on them and then normally striking out. So I don't know what they're talking about. Nobody. See, the thing is, guys do hit on you, but the guys that hit on you, you're so unattracted to, you don't even think they're men.
Well, I don't know. I'm so sure about that, but even on social media, I think a lot of women don't end up liking, posts of pretty women because they're like, oh, well, she's so pretty, she's gonna get a whole bunch of likes anyways, so they just skim over it. And I talk to a lot of my girlfriends who are equally just as gorgeous and talented, and they have the exact same problem.
All right, well, we can do a march for the pretty women and really get things going so that they have equal opportunity like everybody else. The one thing I will say is I'm sure people don't think you have a good personality.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And one of the things with women is I would love to like push babes supporting babes. Like instead of, getting catty with each other just because someone's pretty, instead supporting them. Because I think everyone has their own beauty, which is honestly why like I love being a makeup artist, because I get to look at someone's face and pick out their features that are prettiest on them, and no one's face is alike, and so every time I paint someone's face, it's like a new canvas and a new artwork, a new art piece.
Well, this is a great segue. And by the way, Mua means makeup artist, which I just found out. So I mean, I'm sold. People have to translate emojis for me. But now, why don't if we could do this? If you could look at Nicole, and I'm sure you've seen some pictures of her on social media.
Mm-hmm.
What are her good features, and what would you suggest as far as makeup?
She has really pretty eyes and high cheekbones, and so I would do up her eyes, kind of like what I'm doing right now, and doing up eyes and kind of like more of a nude lip, and then I would definitely highlight her very chiseled face.
And how long does it take to get the eyes quite like that? Because it seems pretty in depth.
So it depends how good how experienced you are with makeup. But this doesn't take me very
Nicole's
long.
very experienced. Oh, makeup. Okay, go ahead.
So I make these 60-second reels, and it's a tutorial of how to get, this whole eye look. And so if I can do it in 60 seconds, I mean, it literally only takes me like probably 30 minutes, and that's being like super precise.
Nicole, do you agree with what her analysis of your face?
I mean, that's basically what I do. I have eye makeup on right now and nothing else.
Is that
and I can just tell like what nice high cheekbones she has. Just
thanks.
I agree. She does have high cheekbones, but does not take compliments well. But Nicole, are you wearing vampire cosmetics today?
I am, yes. You can't really see it that well, but I have
No, that looks good. Christina,
yeah.
What do you think of that eye job?
I really like it. And I actually watched your guys' segment where you guys interviewed and you guys did the makeovers and stuff. Yeah. And I loved those lip colors. I really want to try those out.
Well, when you get your show, because I know Charlie's already wants you to talk about people you have no idea who they are, but we will have you talk to. We'll get you hooked up with Rachel from Vampire Cosmetics and Lillian, who we saw at the LA Comic-Con this week, and those are some possible interviews for you. Nicole, how was LA Comic-Con for you? Because I didn't see you.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed. They have this mug, right? And it's like really expensive. My friend bought one for me because they were buying one for themselves and they wanted me to have one because I didn't have one. They collect them. And there's this mug and you can use it throughout the entire convention to have as much root beer as you want.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We went to a lot of different booths. We went to a panel on the X-Men. I had there were vegan options at the food trucks, and I had a couple of really good meals. So I had a lot of fun.
That's great. I'm glad the LA Comic-Con's vegan now, and I'm glad you had a great.
No, it could have, honestly, it could have had like more vegan options, but there was vegan meals that were very tasty. Like they put effort into them. They had a vegan bowl and a vegan sushi burrito.
Baby steps, Nicole, baby steps. But I had a great time at the LA Comic-Con. There is a video on YouTube on my channel. And the best part about it was going up to our friend cosplayer, Rachie Holland, who we had on the show a few months ago, like 3 months ago, and have her have no idea who I was. Just zero. She's even though I said, do you know who I am? She's like, yeah. I'm like, who am I? Yeah, it's pretty funny. You got to check it out. And also, speaking of vegan, I almost got in a fight with a vegan almost kicked my head off. But watch the video; it'll explain all. I guess I could ask you to look at my face and my awful makeup job and give me a few tips. What is good about my face? I want to hear this. Because as far as I know, and as far as the feedback I've gotten, nothing. So please tell me.
That's so sad. No, honestly, you're already doing it. You're playing up your eyes. You have really big blue eyes, and you already have shapely eyebrows.
Yeah.
Do you shape your own eyebrows?
I don't. This is natural. This people tell me to shape the eyebrows or have in the past, but I guess they're okay. There's no unibrow. Obviously, I dye my hair so my eyebrows are a different color, but I don't mind that. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of got that, because a lot of goths shave their eyebrows, so it's a half step to that. So
No, I thought
you
you
shape
shaped
your
them
eyebrows,
because.
obviously.
Hmm?
You shape yours, obviously.
Oh yeah. Well, I really have to. Well, I actually have to add a whole section because I'm half Asian and we're hairless creatures, and so I
Hmm.
like my eyebrow stops growing like right here. I have to like add this tail on for how big my eyes are. So
So
yeah.
that's what I was going to ask you. You're very exotic looking. What is the combination?
What's my combination?
Yes,
I am half Filipino, English, and a touch of Brazilian.
that's a good combination. That
It's a
works.
beautiful combination. It worked out
Yeah.
well.
Thank you. I think, yeah, I love mixed babies. They turn out so pretty. And I like the fact that I just don't really look like someone else. That's why I always tell people models are just freaks of nature because we just don't look like anyone else.
And do you have the height? I'm not sure how tall you are.
I'm 5'9".
Then you've got the height.
Yeah. And it's
Actually, that might be a
scoliosis,
little
so I'm
short for
sure I'm
models.
taller.
I'm sure. I mean, you got to be at least 5'8", 5'9". Because
Yeah.
I see a lot of beautiful women that are short, and I feel bad because they can't really model.
Yeah. Actually, the modeling industry is actually opened up to short girls now. But it used to be like 5'9" was minimum. But now they take like 5'7" as like the normal now.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you start modeling? Because we've had a few guests recently that have basically had the same story in that they were walking in a mall as a teen or a preteen, and somebody came up to them and was like, "You want to be a model?" And that's how they got in. Do you have a similar story?
Actually, it's pretty damn close. So I was at an amusement park once and I was scouted, and then by the time I was a teenager, there's already social media, and so there's already MySpace and Facebook happening, and so that's really where I started to get recruited. Was actually online, but
Oh, wow.
I've had the same stories. I love going to shows. Um, Ever since I could get snuck in. My parents are metalheads, and I still like my outlet is going to shows.
So are
And
you a metalhead too?
yeah, my music taste is all over, but I mainly listen to metal, but like I love some punk and I love some other stuff too. I don't know, my music taste is all over just like my aesthetic is.
Right. But it's a bit goth, it's a bit punk, it's a bit metal. But well, who's your favorite band? I'm assuming your parents listened to the old classics, the Metallica and Guns N' Roses and all that stuff. But
Oh yeah, huge Slayer fans, stuff like that. I don't okay, so this is a problem for me. I have a problem picking favorites. I don't actually have like a favorite band, just like I don't even have like a favorite color because I love too many to like just pick one.
all right, name
Um,
name five of your favorite bands.
oh my goodness. I hate when you get put on the spot because you're like your mind blanks, right?
Well, when
Um,
Yeah.
you have your radio show, this is going to happen. You're going to put up people on the spot, and Nicole will tell you, I tend to really stump people and put people on the spot, maybe when I shouldn't.
but a few Alpha Wolf, Classic Jack. I love
Okay,
The Unseen. I love Head PE.
right.
So like kind of all over.
When we were talking, and you were talking about starting your own radio show, you're like, "Wow, I've got stories nobody would believe."
True.
Can you tell our audience one of those?
One of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably save most of them for my show.
I understand.
Let's see. There's so many. So in the entertainment industry, as I'm sure you guys know too, there's so much stuff that happens like behind the scenes, and people always have like a viewpoint of what the entertainment industry is. They think it's glamorous, lucrative, so on and so forth. When it's really batshit crazy, and you have to really work hard for it to even be lucrative. But I can't name drop, but a very, very famous actress. She was really big in the 90s. I did a movie with her, and she was hilarious and great. And I didn't realize that she was gonna fall head over heels in love with me. And
Oh, wow.
so, yeah, so we ended up, with a celebrity going to a strip club after set one night, and had her all over me, making out with me, and so on and so forth. And the manager had to come up to me and tell me, like, you can't let those pictures out. Like, you cannot go sell them to TMZ or any of these things. Was just like panicking. But I was like, no, I was like, she's having fun. And I was like, I take it as an absolute compliment. And
Well,
so it
I
was
had
a
no idea
lot of
Whoopi
fun.
Goldberg swung that way.
It was a lot of fun to go out with her and to see this whole other side. And she even got up on the stage and whatnot, and they ended up closing the whole strip club down and giving it to us. And I've just never had quite an experience like that right after set. So
Wow.
there's a lot of different crazy stories.
Oh, that's the perfect tease. Everybody's going to want to tune in to hear all of your inside stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So getting back to the makeup, when did you start like doing that profession?
So it happened on accident. So I would consider myself just like an artist all the way around. I love art so much. I paint, I draw. And when I got a hold of makeup, I actually got into FX makeup first. I love gore. I love wounds. I love like creating all that stuff.
Oh, really?
And yes. And I started learning all this in some downtime because I had just had a child. And so I started playing with my own face and started playing with latex and scar wax. And then people around me started to notice, and they're like, hey, can you do my makeup for prom? Hey, can you do my makeup for this event? And so on and so forth. So I started doing that, and then I started to really fall in love with it, and then it just kept rolling after that. And I've been doing it since I was 17 years old now. And like I grew up not wearing a bunch of makeup because I was kind of tomboyish. And
Really?
so all I did was, all I ever wore was liner and mascara, in a very like floppy fashion. But as soon as I had downtime and started playing with it, like it was just so much fun for me. And I loved creating different characters. I loved being able to, change your face. Like I'm a huge advocate in, trying to use makeup first before plastic surgery on your face. Because I'm like, if you don't like something about your face, I'm pretty sure I can help you fix it.
We got a few people that it's too late to talk to, but yeah.
And so, and then when I moved out here, I just randomly got asked to act in a movie, and then they found out I could do makeup. And then the makeup artist couldn't show up one time, and I did the makeup for the whole crew, and everyone was super impressed. And then that took off from there too.
I didn't know Portland has such a big movie scene.
The film, like the independent film, is pretty big. I mean, there are a lot of shows that were shot. I mean, since COVID, I haven't had that many jobs in the industry, and a lot of the things ended up moving to Canada because you had to have less licenses, and it's way cheaper.
Yeah, a lot of LA stuff moved to Canada. Canada's like where it's at.
Yeah, I even was thinking about getting my passport because a couple of my girlfriends that either act or do makeup are wanting to go back and forth over the border because there's so much work up there now, and none of it's down here anymore.
Right.
I was actually going to suggest you do that because I know that there's a lot of work in Vancouver.
Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah.
And there's a lot of strip clubs in Vancouver, so you can go out with the actresses afterwards. But I'm not kidding. But I love that you are so hot that you put makeup on yourself to look gross. That's always I always love that type of story. Like, oh, I want to put open wounds on my face just because I'm that hot. I want to just bring it down to a human level.
I love it. It's so funny because that's the stuff that does worse on my profiles. People don't like the scary makeup. People like the pretty makeup, the glam makeup. And so it's funny to me because that's probably my favorite is the gore part, and to create scary looks, because I'm like, well, that's what Halloween's about, or like this looks about. But a lot of people are like, no, that's too much for me, I don't like that, I'd rather you do the pretty looks or this or that. So I give myself, when I do Halloween looks every year.
Tell Nicole some of the Halloween looks that you did this year.
Yes, please.
I did this one where, the eyes were glam, but then I took off my mask, and then I put prosthetic teeth in that were bloody and very, very sharp. And my whole mouth was like a whole infected, like, monster kind of deal.
Cool.
And then I did a clown face one that was like bleeding and stuff, that was like screwed in to my face. And that one actually had like a lot to do with, as a model, you always have to put on a face for the world.
Okay.
But then like it was a reflection of like how you feel inside. And so I never know really what I'm going to do when I sit down for a look. I just literally to get inspired as I go along. And that's what I came up with, because I had gotten shut down for talking, a few times, and people don't really care about your feelings.
Wait a second. Nobody wants to hear you talk? What happened?
Well, I mean, now they do, but no, I mean, so photographers, I was just suggesting something because I've been modeling for so long, and he was like, excuse me, I'm pretty sure that you're being paid not to talk. And to
what an asshole.
And look sexy. And like, I just held it together, and I was like, you're absolutely right. I'll just shut the fuck up and never model for you again. But it's just, you have to like, you always have to, have a face on.
Mm-hmm.
And I, was just someone who was just a face, and I couldn't express, any knowledge that, was going to be helpful, because I feel like he was more of an amateur photographer, because I was like, hey, if you put this light here and this light here, it'll get the effect that you're like wanting. And I was totally shut down for it. So anyways, later on that night when I was doing it, I just like painted on how I was feeling inside.
So Nicole, I know you model. Have you had any photographers be an asshole like they were to Christina?
No, I've never had a photographer be mean to me. But anything I do is usually something with a friend or with a person that I know online for a while. Usually I'm approached online by someone that's been like following my stuff for a while. They ask me if I would model for them, and then I go model for them. So it's always kind of nice. Like, I don't have that kind of experience, thankfully.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I mean, I've done some acting. I mean, nobody's calling me to model, but I've done some acting, and I tend to defer to them. But I guess I did. Yeah, I did film a movie this year, and we got a director and I got a little snippy with each other, but it was pretty late and we were getting pretty tired. But nobody's actually told me not to talk.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So But that shows the objectification of women and how what an asshole some people are.
Right. And it's just even funnier now that, I'm getting my own talk show.
Yeah, now you can get back at them. You should have them on their show, and you fucking give them shit.
Right.
Oh, can I have you on my show? Oh, you were the asshole who told me not to talk.
I'm going to tell him to not talk on my show. Be like, well, no.
Right.
And then I did a glam skull, because those have been popular for the last couple of years, but I tend not to do trending looks. And then I was like, well, I haven't actually tried doing a whole rhinestone skull look, because I love skulls, and so I do different skull looks every year. And so I did that one this year as well.
The heart, the heart.
Oh,
the
I love that
heart.
one. So yeah, I'm a hopeless romantic masochist, and that's what that one was.
If you can see my phone, which you probably can't, there it is. Yeah, that's you can see the heart. So all this makeup you did, somebody didn't make you up. You did it all yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That's a really funny one too, because I actually ended up having a heart stained on my chest for a good week after that, because one, blood stains, but when I was cutting the latex to create the actual wound, I accidentally like cut myself.
Oh no.
Little areas, because I used one of those eyebrow razors. And I didn't really notice that I was cutting myself accidentally. I mean, like, I felt like a little bit of a scratch, but they say pain is beauty, and I was just getting through it. But then when I took it all off, I literally had kind of a little bit of a actual real bloody heart on my chest for a while. So.
And then Nicole, check this one out if you can.
I can. That's pretty cool.
Tell us about this one.
So that is my black and white half statue face. And so you can't, so I don't have a good camera, which is something I'm really working on. But it's textured, and so that it's like cracking cement, like an actual like statue. And then it's just half and half. And it's all black and white makeup, and including the contouring and stuff, and then all regular makeup on one side.
And apparently you have a lot of contacts, because here's another one.
Yeah.
Look at that one, Nicole.
Yeah, it's cool.
That, if I could describe it for our radio listeners, it's, I don't know if I can, but you have described it. There's beauty in everything, even in silence and darkness. Your mouth is all made up. I guess it's supposed to be sewed shut or something.
Yeah, well, my mouth is gone, and it's like the flesh, like tearing.
Oh yeah.
Open. Can you see that? Yeah.
I can.
But that was all.
I ignored it when I masturbated to it, but yeah, I did see that. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
That one was tough because when you get to use prosthetics and stuff, it's easy because it's 3D. You really get the picture. But I wanted to challenge myself with that one and literally only use eyeshadows and eyeliner, because I also try to create looks for people who don't just have effects makeup on hand. So I do try to make things, somewhat attainable for people who don't know how to use latex, for some people that don't know how to use scar wax, or, whatever it is. And just using, just plain eyeshadow and eyeliner.
Right. So all of these things, you could teach people how to do it.
Yes.
I keep noticing the nails, because we had a whole discussion of that a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, my nails?
Yeah, you got the nails. Yeah, because we were talking to our friend Jigga Jones about the nails a couple of weeks ago. And it's like, yeah, the woman's got nails like you, and they're cooking Thanksgiving dinner. We don't let them make the stuffing. So it's just one of those things.
That would be, yeah, no, I mean, that's good. You wear gloves a lot of times. I wear gloves so that the underneath, I'm like a germ freak, and so.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm super clean about things. Yeah, I get it.
And speaking of tattoos, now you're very, very tattooed. So I have to ask, what was the first tattoo you got? When and how old were you when you got it? And what's your favorite?
My first tattoo ever was this terrible nautical star with wings. And I don't ever.
That's not that bad.
Thank you. I did it myself. At 14. I made my own tattoo gun. And
wait a second, back up. Now, how did you make it your own tattoo gun at 14?
So, because teenagers are so resourceful. Me
not anymore.
That's very sad. That's so true. So my ex had learned how to. He was like, "Have you ever made a prison tattoo gun?" And I was like, "No." And so what we did was.
Sounds like you have the same taste in men as Nicole. I'm sorry, Nicole. I keep
you have it wrong, Mark. I'm the criminal. I've never dated a criminal.
I keep dunking on you, Nicole. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I love that. But you take the tube of a ballpoint pen, and then you take a paper clip and you straighten it all the way, except for the very end. You make a little 90-degree angle, put it in the tube, and then you take sewing string and a sewing needle, and you wrap it at the other end, and with a lot of string so that it can hold the ink. And then you have you get a little motor from like a RC car or something, right? And you strip it, and so you get this little motor, and you've seen them, and they have the little spindle,
like a Hot Wheels sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then you do that, and then you put the button on top of that spindle, and then on the other hole of the button, you put that 90-degree angle that you made into the other one. And so that way it's going to spin, and it's going to go like this, in and out. And then how you get that to work is you you wire in just a regular phone charger cord or any kind of cord like that. You cut it and then you just attach the wires, electric tape it up, and you literally have your own tattoo gun.
And what do you use for the ink?
Oh, calligraphy ink, stuff like that.
Because I'm taking notes. I'm just trying to get my own prison gun.
It'll be way safer and cheaper and way better. I actually suggest anyone that's listening to not really do that. This tattoo, after I was done with it, I'm not kidding, was swollen out to here.
I'm sure.
And I was like, I'm gonna be okay. And I'm pretty sure like my bones are tattooed because of how deep it went.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It looks good though. I've seen homemade tattoos. Matter of fact, my father and my mother tattooed each other's names on them, homemade. But that was way back when, and yours is it's a lot better.
Well, so this is with a gun, like with a homemade gun. These I did. So this and my knuckles and my arm.
Right.
Not this one. That one was done.
Sure.
Can't do it. There we go. Writing. I did all those on my own. I did have an ex help for when I couldn't do certain details because my left arm was giving out.
Right.
But
another prison inmate or
no. No, just another bad decision too. But no, not an inmate.
We've all made them. Now, what does it say? What does it say on your arm? Because all these tattoos look pretty good to me. Nicole, back me up. These look pretty good for homemade.
They do look good. Yeah.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. So my knuckles say half full because I had a very hard life growing up, and I'm a person who always wants to look at the glass half full. And so every time I look down, I see half full, and to remember the light side of things. And then my arm. So
basically, you ball your hands up into fists and okay, half full.
Yeah, exactly. And then I calm down, and I'm a little happier.
All right, and then on your arm it says.
It's a Joan of Arc quote, and it's "One life is all we have, and we live it as we believe in living it. But to sacrifice who you are and to live without belief, that is a fate more terrible than dying."
Good quote.
Yeah, it's something that insomnia will do that to you. I did it at 3 a.m. Because I couldn't sleep, but I love the saying, and I try to live. I pretty much live my life by it. Like I said, I've always walked my own beat, whether people liked it or not, or it was acceptable or not. I follow my passions, and I believe that that's how you should live your life. Yeah. And then this one is a big sister. My sister and I have matching tattoos.
Oh, okay, that's cute.
And then it's rainbow because she's gay, so we both needed a rainbow tattoo. And she's like, "Well, let's just put it in that." And so it looks like her heart splattered onto this one.
Right.
Nice.
I like that too. Does she have a rainbow too, or does she have I don't know, somebody who's very sleepy person on her tattoo, or what?
No, it's the outline of the heart that's supposed to be this, and so the outline is rainbow, but it looks like the heart was kind of taken,
right?
Gotcha.
And then put on here. Yeah.
You also have the tongue ring.
Two
tongue rings. Why two?
I used to have 3. And they were all diamonds, and it would go from largest to smallest all the way down because I like the design, and because I have.
Did you pawn the third, or what happened?
Well, okay, so I had to take them all out, and they all closed up, and so when I re-pierced them, because I also do my own piercings.
Right. Wait. You do your own piercings too.
Yeah, well, and I do other people's piercings too. I don't like to tattoo others.
Piercing? What, were you 15 when you started piercing? What happened?
When I started piercing myself, I was probably 13. I started professionally piercing people when I was 19. So I've done so many piercings, actually. I probably couldn't even count how many. I could only tell you, I've only done. Oh, go ahead.
Tongue. You get 2 tongue rings, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought you were talking about on your body, or just how many people you pierced. Because I was like,
oh, no, actual people I've pierced. I've had lots of different piercings, and I've done those too.
Because I was like, ears, tongue, nipples?
No, I'm not.
Labia?
No, but I've done those.
Right.
These are my only piercings right now. I took my lip rings out, took my nose ring out, and my belly button out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why is it that everybody gets a belly button ring? Everybody I know that's ever gotten a belly button ring gets infected. Every single person.
I already didn't like my stomach, and I thought it like made it look cuter.
No, I understand why you get it, but why? Everybody I know so many people, male and female, that have gotten belly button piercings, and they always get infected. I know people that have tongue piercings that get infected, labia piercings that get infected, ear
because
piercings.
Because of the area. So one, they always get tugged on. I had to stop having my belly button ring in because it kept getting ripped out. I had my belly button ripped out like twice, and then I was just done, and it left a terrible scar. But it catches towels, it catches clothes. And then if you think about your belly button, it's not like the cleanest place. I mean, like if you sweat, it pools there. Or, I mean, we've all gotten like belly button lint. I have a lot of dogs and it's gross. Like I'll like pick out like dog hair from my belly button. And
You
so
can pay somebody to do that. I'm sure some of your social media followers would be happy to do that.
oh man.
You can charge people. You can do like an OnlyFans of you picking dog lint out of your belly button. I'm serious. There's a fetish for everybody.
That's true. I mean, that's really what I want to be known by, the girl that gets paid for people picking dog hair out of her belly button.
Well, you just started Renagade Radio, so anything's possible. You were talking about your body. You said you did not like your stomach, because I like it.
I think I don't know, and I don't know about every girl, but I mean, I've definitely gone through different stages of my life, trying to, love my body. And there's there's a ton of pressure as a girl, to be, stick thin.
For a guy too.
Well, that's true too. And so, I struggled with it, and my weight has always fluctuated. I don't really care. I just like to be healthy. Because I just had surgery in May, and then I was bed bound for the entire summer. So like I put on some weight, and so like I'm working that off now. But before all that, I was super fit, and I was actually going to do bikini competition because I had lost 100 pounds.
And how did you do that? I haven't seen the heavy pictures, so.
Yeah, I haven't posted them. I have a Christina's Adventure to Fit, and I just haven't done it yet. Because so much has happened. But there was COVID. I had family that passed, and like I had a child, and I had put on like all this weight all at once, and it literally was 100 pounds. And
you've seen the fat pictures of me. So how did you lose 100 pounds? Because Nicole and I are on our own weight loss journeys. It seems to come up every week. How did you do it? How do you do it?
So this is just going to sound pretty cliche, but it is literally trusting the process and being active. So I work out, 5 times a week usually. I'd really try for that. And that's also for mental health.
What type of workout?
I do weights and cardio. I have a HIIT trainer machine, and so it's like a stair stepper / elliptical, and it kicks my ass. So that's what I do for cardio, unless I do videos. And then like the videos I do are weight training videos, like on Beachbody. I love the Beast, and I love his workout routines and lifting weights. So I do that to tone my body because I enjoyed the way my body looked with muscle. I've been really skinny before and stuff, but I never seen my body with like toned and muscle and like cut. And I was like, that's sexy. And so I kept that up, and I really liked it. And it really helped with like my depression that was happening as well.
For sure.
And so, yeah, so like being locked up and going through all that stuff, like I really escaped, and I do it, even though I'm so tired at the end of the night from everything I'm doing. I'm not a person that wakes up good early. So I do it before I go to bed.
And this insomniac doesn't wake up cheery in the morning.
I know, imagine that. So I usually run 7 miles on my machine. And then I do about like 45 minutes of weight training. And then I don't count calories. I just try to eat healthy. But if I am trying to like drastically cut weight, what I do is, if I want to be 140 pounds, I do 1,400 calories. If I wanted to be 150, I do 1,500 calories. Wow. And that's what's worked for my body. I just realized that, like I have to be active. or my body just puts on weight for some reason. And it's just because like I'm a curvy girl, like my whole family, you know, is curves, and I love having the curves that I have. I have an extremely hourglass shape, but I have to stay active.
I noticed. And by the way, I know this is a rude question, but natural breasts?
No, actually, not anymore.
Okay, they're nice. It doesn't matter. But Nicole, yeah, that makes sense though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't think about the if you want to be a certain amount of weight, just have that amount of calories. That makes it so easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think it does, and it literally has worked every time for me.
Well, you know, like I say, everybody's different, and Nicole and I are doing different things, and you're doing different things, and we're all losing weight, so that's good. So
my problem is I regain the weight because I eat out a lot, and I'm trying. Like yesterday, I literally ate just vegetables. I'm trying. That was when I went out to the restaurant. I ate just vegetables. I'm trying to find ways to eat healthy when I'm out of my house. Because when I'm at my house, I'm eating a really strict diet, and it's really good for me. But I have a very active social life, and so when I go out, the items are not as healthy. So I got to work on that. It's just what I have to work on.
Any suggestions, Christina?
So I've struggled with what she is struggling with. And my thing is, if I'm going to go out, I really want to enjoy myself. And so what I do actually is, if I know I'm going out, I actually do fasting and intermittent fasting. And if I knew I had a bunch of calories like the night before, because I like indulged, I will do a 24-hour fast because my body needs to burn off those calories I just ate the night before. And so I do a water fast with salt and apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. And it literally counteracts the last day completely.
I've started doing a juice fast after days that I've eaten big meals, and I lose like 4 pounds sometimes.
See? Yeah. That's how I like to counteract. Sometimes though, it's hard to be motivated to do it because you're like, oh man, this is going to suck. But when you see the results and how well that they work, and the fact that fasting is actually so good for you, that's also like what I have to tell myself is like, it's also health benefits.
Well, that's how I started fasting with the juice, was because I'm like, I know that I'm not eating clean, and I wanted to clean my body.
Yeah, exactly. See, you're on it. Yeah.
There you go. You're doing the right thing. But Nicole? Christina is such a girly girl, as you can see. But did you know that she knows her way around the car?
Oh, I can imagine. And so you're good under the hood?
Am.
So to speak.
So to speak. I do. I don't currently do, but I do mechanics. I do all my own mechanics on my own car, whether it be maintenance or upgrades. I learned mechanics from my partner, and that's what we do. Like when I need extra money, I mean, because it's something that like never dies. So it was something that actually was very helpful during COVID, because as a makeup artist or a model, you're not an essential worker. And so a lot of my gigs went away. And so I went back to fixing cars because everybody always still needs a mechanic.
Now, do you take out the nails before you go under the hood, I'm assuming?
Sometimes. It depends. I mean, if they're acrylics and they're already on, I just deal with it. I've had some pretty bad injuries happen before, but you train yourself to work with, cracking a nail in half and then like literally having to peel off the nail and I'm like literally watching like the skin, and it was like I was like sweating and going into shock and shit. It was terrible.
Really? Because you broke a nail?
Well, because like it was broken in half hanging on, and so you have to literally peel it off. And it was, like the torture scenes where they peel off nails.
So your whole nail came off, not just acrylic, the whole nail?
Yeah. No, when that happens, it's the whole nail. It's not just the acrylic.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I prefer not to, but there's times. So I only get my nails done if I'm like doing shoots and stuff. They're very hard to work with, but I love the way they look. And
I was gonna say, you're changing an alternator and you got those nails. It seems a little hard.
It's all about your tools too.
I'll bet.
So I have a lot of good tools that are handy because I don't have like the man strength that, a lot of mechanics have, but tools are your best friend in mechanics. And learning how to use tools as leverage and so on and so forth, if my fingers can't, fit in there, is super helpful.
A lot of air tools and a lot of that type of thing.
Finally have air tools, but I've done mechanics like I guess you say like what like they call backyard mechanics for a very long time, where it was no air tools, just like some battery powered shit. And so wrenching, like actual wrenching for hours instead of air tools. But now I have air tools and it makes life better.
Let's talk about social media for a second, because I know Charlie Renagade, and thank you, Charlie, for hooking us up with Christina, because she's so much fun. But part of the reason that you're starting your own radio show is to expand your social media audience. The social media landscape is so confusing to me. I can't get a handle on it. It was so much easier when there was MySpace. I wish we would just, all the TikTok and the Snapchat and all the bullshit just could go away. We go back to MySpace, and people could see what I'm posting, and they'll laugh and they'll have a good time.
Absolutely.
What are the challenges that you've had with social media?
Oh my God, so many. I have a problem with social media and posting. I don't want to I don't hate social media, but I do think that it can be a very toxic place. And I think it's very time consuming, and I would rather be just creating the content and, doing like the live things. But when I have to post, nowadays, like you have to post Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, like it's ridiculous. And then, having to, find the niche for each, group and whatnot. And so I always tell people as soon as I can, like I am hiring a social media manager, because that is like the one thing that I am terrible. I am awful at it. And finding out what the algorithms are all the time, sometimes I'll be doing great, and then other times people never see my stuff. And so that's very frustrating too, because I just want to be able to, like, for the world to see my art and to share it and get it out there, to, help people or inspire people, or, just to share it. I mean, an artistic exhibitionist.
You definitely are. And I can relate to that, because I posted something this week and Nicole saw it 2 days later. I was posting about a show. So
Nicole, I didn't know the show was happening. Like, I might have gone. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, I might go to this, was my first thought. And then I saw that it was like 2 days ago, and I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't help.
Right. Well, and what's really frustrating now is that now a lot of it's becoming paid.
Of course. Well, that's how they're making money.
I know. And that's frustrating, because every time I post, they're like, oh, well, if you want more exposure, you could add $10 and you'll get 2,000 more people to see your stuff, because they'll push it out there. Well, so now things aren't organic. Now followers aren't organic.
I don't think it ever was, but now you get the comments like, promoted on DM social, we'll get you 10,000 likes or whatever. That's another hustle.
You get so many of those, and they always want money. Oh, actually, one of the times, this is a really funny story, there are ones that if you're pretty, they were like, well, if you don't have money for that, because I was like, sure, if you want to promote me, what kind of pictures do you want? And they were like, oh, well, it costs this much, to promote this or whatever, like all those. And he was like, well, if you don't have money, he's like, we could do video. You could do a video show for me. Or and so that was, I didn't do it, but that was hilarious. I was like, oh, okay, so now we're trading webcam sex.
Forward them over to me, because I'll do a webcam session for them, because I need a follower. But
you would, you'd be like, yeah, what do you want to see?
I mean, how many? What do you get more of that? People trying to promote you, crypto, or dick pics? Which do you get more of?
I don't get too much crypto. I don't think it, but I do get plenty of spam dick pics and plenty of spam promotional stuff.
Or
a ton of people who want to work with you, like up and coming brands and stuff, but they want you to buy all this stuff.
I get that too.
Yeah,
I get a lot of
exactly.
goth stuff like that. They're like, you look
That's
like you'd be a great brand ambassador for us.
Thank you.
And
That's I couldn't think of the word brand
oh yeah.
ambassador. Yeah.
And unlike Ray's Energy Drink and Eddie by Giddy, who are legitimate companies that have sponsored me, these are not legitimate companies. They want you to buy their product and hustle it out, or buy their sponsorship. And it's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You
Exactly.
know, Nicole, do you have any suggestions?
I would love any tips.
Because I think because Nicole is a social media manager,
Yeah.
I mean Christina, I would think would blow up on the internet if she was presented the right way.
Well, I think she's already doing well because the most important thing is a picture of your face. That's something the algorithm is trained to put out there above more like it. I stopped posting my flyers because it does nothing with my flyers. Like it hates my flyers. It refuses to show them to anyone. So I started putting them in my story because I have a really good following in my stories. And so now like hundreds of people are seeing them, whereas before I would get like 35 likes tops. And I have 6,000 followers. So on average, I get between 100 and 150 likes. If it's a really good post, it'll get to 150. If it's a regular post, it gets to 100. And that's I do myself in a picture, myself with others in a picture, usually attractive people. That I mean, I'm not trying. My friends are all pretty attractive anyway, so.
Present company excluded. But go ahead.
Well, I promote us every week.
I know you do.
So I take pictures of me having fun with friends. So something that looks popular and fun. So what I do is once a week I post a selfie, and once a week I post a picture of me having fun, and that's it. And then because I'm not posting like all the time, they automatically see these things. And it usually takes up to about 3 days to circle total, I've noticed. Because when you first post it, not everybody sees it. But by the third day, usually all of my fans have seen it. And then I get in, 100 to 115 or to 150 is like 18% of my following liking my stuff. So it's a pretty good rate right now with the way it is. I'm pretty happy with it. It used to be a lot more, but I had a bigger social presence at the time. These people that follow me now don't see everything. Well, yeah, I mean, the algorithms also changed. So even though I had a bigger social presence at the time, I'm also dealing with the algorithm change. But the real goal of it is for them to try to get you to pay money to boost your posts. But as long as you're posting one selfie a week and one other picture a week, you're going to get followers. But if you post too much, it buries your content.
I guess I post too much, I guess. Nicole, what do you get more of? Brand ambassadors, dick pics, or crypto?
Brand ambassadors.
Right.
I don't really get dick pics, thankfully.
Well, I do, but anyway. So yeah, not only is it so overtly like they want you to pay, but then you get the backdoor stuff like this week or this last couple weeks, the big Lensa thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got to do a Lensa. And your pictures look like fantasy lenses anyway, so there's no reason for you to do it. What do you think of the Lensa? What I see as a scam, and also if you're going to go down the conspiracy road, more bots that have your facial recognition.
I never thought about that. Oh no. I think it's just, another viral trend. And actually I ended up having a friend that did it for me, and there was only a few that I think the botched ones are the most hilarious ones, which is the ones I was going to post because I thought they were so funny. Because I got more botched ones than anything because I think I confused the AI generator.
You're too hot. You're too hot for Lensa. They can't make you a fantasy figure, so they got to ugly you up.
Well, I think they were like, well, she already has unnormal humanly huge eyes and lips and stuff. And I'm already Asian, right, too? Because a lot of these just make you anime. So it's super funny. So the anime ones, I'm Asian and I come out super white looking in these generated AIs.
Oh,
and
one of those things.
Yeah,
even the AI whitewashes people. The AI is racist, I'm telling you.
But yeah, I was joking how I was confusing the AI generators because she tried it in, the Meitu app, the Lensa app, and the Wonder app or something like that. I don't know. I didn't do them. But she did them with my pictures, and you have to, put in 10 to 20 pictures of yourself. And it was a really hilarious experience. Like I said, I think I'm going to post the botched ones because they were so funny.
That's so great that you fucked up the algorithm. But you are like an anime character come to life. Did they do an anime one of you, like a Sailor Moon or something?
They did quite a few, and that's funny. That's one of the things that I was getting hired for were these cosplay films. They were like little, like smaller,
right?
Budget and stuff, because a lot of people over in China and stuff were like requesting me to play these roles because of the way I looked, because I looked like an anime character come to life.
That's awesome.
So you're big in China.
Right. I wasn't even into anime, but I was like, that's like a cool niche and I guess a huge compliment. So I was like, hell yeah.
Well, I was telling you, because I was telling you last night, we went to the LA Comic-Con, and we have so many friends that do very well at these conventions just cosplaying. People get their autographs, they get paid to sponsor things. It's a whole industry. So I could see you getting right into that. I mean, where's the time go? This has been so much fun. I did warn you last night, we got to get into this. And I asked this of a lot of guests, what is your fetish? Because you're obviously a sexual person. That comes across. You're cute, you're bubbly, you're an insomniac, but you do have that side.
That's so funny. Everyone, a lot of people have always told me that. It's so funny. I actually had my one of my boyfriend's parents actually asked, because they knew I did acting, and so at dinner they were like, "Yeah, in X-rated movies," and I was like, "Where do you come off? I just met you." Announcing to the family that I do porn, like that wasn't even, but that's what they viewed me, because they're like, well, you just have such like a sexual energy. Or I've walked into parties and they're like, oh, look, you look like a sex goddess.
Just what turns you on?
So this is funny. I like very dominant men in the bedroom, and I like to be a sub. And I think it's because I'm such a control freak in like real life. Like I'm a very dominant person. But the hottest thing ever is to be dominant over women. I'm very bisexual, and the story. And so that turns me on incredibly, is being dom over women, but being a sub with men. And I'm a huge exhibitionist. Anywhere that's not in the bedroom is so much fun. Like, I mean, I literally have like goals and places, to have sex, and I've been to quite a few places. If we can have sex there, like I want to do it.
Oh, please be more specific. Where's the weirdest place you had sex?
I'm trying to think. Sorry, because there's like so many different examples. I don't know about like the weirdest.
And while you think of that, this one's for you, Charlie Renagade. Go ahead. What is the weirdest place you've had sex?
Well, I don't know if that would be the weirdest place, but I've had sex in churches, and that was a lot of fun. Light rail.
Oh, the light rail in Portland?
Denver.
Oh, Denver. Okay.
Yeah, the light rail. Yeah, so the light rail in Denver, that was a really crazy one.
Well, you're in Denver, so it counts as the Mile High Club.
That's it, because that's actually a goal of mine, is to still have sex in an airplane. I have not done that. I very much want to do that. I want to have sex flying.
Like with trains, buses, cars, you've done all that.
But like, there's like funny stories. Like I was in a Sonic bathroom one time, and we were on the sink, and the sink broke. And I like shit myself. I was so scared that it broke. And like, I was just surprised that, I thought like water would start spraying like the movies and stuff. But no, it literally just broke off the wall. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, we gotta fucking go. At a hotel, we broke the headboard off of the wall, which was crazy. Yeah, I was on top holding on to it, and it literally came off of the wall, and like we couldn't put it back on. And luckily I wasn't charged for it. Quite recently, it was really funny. We just found a place out in the mountains kind of area, because I live in kind of a rural area, and we thought we were safe and that there was not going to be anyone. And like, we're up against the car, and this guy just like walks by and he goes, "Good evening." It just like waves at us and just like keeps walking, and we're like, "Hi, good evening."
That's better than my story. I had a girl. I was with a girl in Las Vegas. We were down by where the airplanes land, and we're in the car, and she's sucking my dick, and a guy gets out of his car and starts watching. And
oh my God.
And the guy looked like Bill Cosby, is with a black guy in a sweater, like, and then he starts jerking off, and then I'm like, "There's a guy watching us." He's just like, "Oh, I'll take care of that. He won't see us." And then she takes her ass and just sticks it in the window, so he's still jerking off, and I couldn't finish.
God.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I would have been like, it's $20 to watch. Excuse me.
I mean, it was mid below, so it wasn't like something I could really stop. Nicole, what was the weirdest place you had sex? I don't think we ever had this on. Huh?
Tour bus. I put my boots on the ceiling. It was a thing.
Okay. Did you break any sinks or?
No.
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 I want to clarify, Christina. When you said you broke the sink in the Sonic bathroom and shit yourself, you didn't literally shit yourself because you are at Sonic, so I know that happens once in a while.
Actually, we didn't even eating Sonic. We were just walking by and we're like, oh, there's a closed bathroom. I was like, let's go in there. And no, I did not actually shit myself, but I was scared shitless is what I should say.
I understand. I just wanted to clarify that for our audience because, you have those chili cheese conies, forget about it. But you like men to dominate you.
Yes.
You like to dominate women.
Yes.
How many times have you combined the two?
Oh, several times.
That's like the human centipede of kink.
Well, so here's the thing is like threesomes with girls are fine. I realize though threesomes with two guys becomes a problem sometimes because the guys end up getting to like
sword fights.
Yeah, exactly. It turns into, little pissing contests afterwards. I'll have to deal with, oh, you moan different with him or this or fucking that. And it really pisses me off. And I'm like, you're the one that suggested it. It was your friend and absolutely not. And so I don't really try to do threesomes like that anymore because it just becomes too much. But threesomes with girls are a lot of fun. Either all girls or one guy and a girl.
Right. So one guy's choking you and you're choking a girl. That's like that type of thing.
Stuff like that. Or, he's, choking me and fucking me, but then I make her eat his cum out of me kind of thing.
Ah, okay. That's just a tease of what Christina. Now, have you named what your show? Did you come up with a show name for you, or it's just going to be the Christina Reins show?
No. So it's going to be the Vixen Hour because of my alter ego, which people can follow and it's going to sponsor the channel, which is Victoria Vixen, which is my alter ego.
Well, wait a second. I didn't hear about the Victoria Vixen. Now tell me about Victoria Vixen.
Victoria Vixen, I don't like the word stage name because alter ego fits better because we all have like that naughty dark side to us. Mm-hmm. And I do a lot of mainstream modeling and, I have a lot of, a younger audience and, friends and family that I don't want to see like my nude modeling or stuff like that. Okay. Even if it's like high end taste, but I, like I said, I'm an exhibitionist. So I, love, performing for the camera and I have a lot of.
And that's the VIXEN, right?
Yeah. Well, so the nickname is Victoria 666 Vixen on Instagram and loyal fans. Mm-hmm. But that's where all of my risque stuff is going to go.
Okay, got it.
And then, but like my makeup and my acting and all that, like you got to have, I got to have two different areas for that. So it's going to be the Vixen Hour because, a little bit of Victoria Vixen's obviously going to come out in that hour. But at the same time, we're going to be talking about industry stuff. I'm going to have all kinds of people from the industry and other makeup artists, actors, directors, producers, so on and so forth. I'm going with Love, Lashes, and Lipstick.
Love, Lashes, and Lipstick. I like it. And I can't wait to hear it. Now, before we go, because you were a little nervous coming on the show, I hope this has assuaged all your fears because it's fun and you're just fun to talk to.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I just didn't want to bomb it. I didn't.
You didn't bomb. Nicole, you've been podcasting for a while. Do you have any advice for Christina for a radio show?
Oh, yes, please.
I think the guests are the most important thing. I think if you get the right guests, you'll have a good show because you're there every week anyway. They already want to see you. If you want to show them something different, that comes down to the guests that you bring on.
So guests and a lot of research because you talked about all the research he does. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that would be super smart as well. So
I've listened to other radio shows and podcasts where somebody's literally just reading off an IMDb page going, oh, you were in this movie. Tell me about that. And it's like, no, you want to have a conversation. And we've had a great conversation. How much fun is Christina, Nicole?
Oh, this has been great. I'm glad. It's nice to meet you.
And
Thank you very much.
a great addition to Renegade Radio's lineup, I think.
I agree.
And
Thank
we would love to come on the Vixen Hour at any time. So when it gets going, you can reach out to us, and we have other great guest suggestions.
I would love to interview you too.
I would suggest you do it separately, and I think that you would come up with some interesting results that way.
Oh
I've
yeah,
heard
no,
Nicole's-
it would be separate for sure. There's enough content there to both have you on separate hours for sure. I already know.
Well, Christina, you are a delight. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and everything that you have going on.
Thank you so much. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Christina Reins. And you can always follow my alter ego at Victoria 666 Vixen.
I just stepped on you sticking your tongue out, so please say something and then stick your tongue out for the audience.
Thanks for joining us on the Dark Mark Show.
And Nicole, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, your book that is on sale, and if somebody wants to jumpstart their social media, how they can get a hold of you.
Okay. I am at Nicole Sixx Books on Instagram, and I am Nicole H6 on Facebook. If you'd like help with your social media, I have very affordable rates. Just contact me. And my book is linked in my bio.
I'm Goth Comedian on all social media. And check it out daily, because my posts when I have shows seem to come out about 3 days later. So check it daily, and everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.